And voila, here I just finished a new small painting. Painted this rose on a 25.25 centimeter canvas. I do think it came out pretty nice. It worked a lot with the textures and colors and stuff. You can see me explain what I do in the video. I painted it from this photo, and as you can see it's quite vivid in the colors here too. Of course my digital camera reads the colors different from a photo than from a painting, so they become a little bit different. You see them like this. But anyway, it is fun to work with, also quite difficult actually to get all the different textures and stuff, because you do have to have some texture in the background also. You can't just paint a dark shadow or something like that. So yeah, anyway, with this I do hope that you can, if you like me to teach you how to paint, you can go to my Patreon. You can find a link in description and on my channel. If you want to support my channel, you can do that by buying me a coffee. And if you really want to support me, and that's the easiest way, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and share it with your friends on social media if you can. So that is very helpful. And with this, I hope to see you in my next video. And here we go. I'm going to paint this beautiful little rose on this canvas. And it's very small, very tiny. And it's going to be fun because it's a lot of space, but I kind of like it because it is so subtle, you know. How is it? It's like there, and like this, and like this, and like this, and like this. And try to go a little bit slow, and just do it slowly. So. And we see it is very yellow and reddish and quite sweet and beautiful. I want to put in some thick colors in the beginning because it will make it very hard to control the light and everything. See now. And it's kind of pink, you know. These white roses are quite pink. Pink. Yes. This. And like here. And underneath. A little bit further down here. Maybe it goes all the way down here. So, yeah. It's nice to do something else, you know, just not onions and stuff, just do something totally different. I wondered if we could bring it out and kind of, but I felt that the space around it made it kind of more weirder in a way. I kind of like it, so I chose to leave it at that. I hope I chose the right thing. Kind of like to just keep it very subtle. And yeah. And blue. The good thing now, I don't need my glasses. Also, I forget to eat, and that's a good thing, because who needs food when we have blubber to burn? You know, blubber is something you have so you can actually burn it when you do stuff like this. Do an exhibition in 2 weeks. It takes more than 2 weeks, but you know. I cannot make 2 weeks into. I have to make 3 or 4 weeks into basically 2 or 3 months. So that is the story of my life, of course. Just keep doing these mistakes, but I talk. Maybe I should just shut up about it, you know. It is what it is. Let me see, how big is it? There. See, I painted it a little bit bigger than reality. That's so typical. It's very typical. But I will get it under control. See now, just go. Okay, I'm gonna do the things around it first. First go very deep with the nuances and then bring it back up again later. Yes. So the good thing with doing from photo is that if I want to do more, you know, bring to my exhibition, sometimes I feel maybe I should do some more. And then I can just pick it up again because the flower is still round. If you do from natura, it will die. That is of course a problem when you want to. Yeah, something. So. Like this, like this. Okay, just get it down so it brings out the light more. It's so important. Then I'm going to add some more textures later. I'm going to paint 2 roses today, but the other one is more complex because it's laying down and it's more. Could be beautiful actually to do some of them totally photorealistic. That would be a challenge. So I'm not into that yet, but it could be. That's a good thing to try some deeper photorealism at some point. So, okay. So what colors do I use here? It's my ordinary, cobalt, no not cobalt, blue black Alsavine, and what's it called again? One of these. I always keep failing. It's called Brilliant Gel Light, and you have that Brilliant Gel Varnish, and I mix them with other colors, so kind of create some more grayish. Not grey, of course, but you know what I mean. See now, didn't I place it in the middle? Oh, catastrophe. Supposed to be a little bit more that way. I see that now. So that was good that I saw this now. So I have the darkness around it now, so I could just move it a little bit to the, has to be in the middle. See now, in the middle here, and of course further on, yeah. Yes. Dark here, and there's more light behind there. To keep this small is actually not easy because my brain wants it to make it bigger. It just wants to make it bigger, but it's not supposed to be bigger, it's supposed to be smaller. Let me see now, it's like this. See, it wants to make it bigger. My brain just, it's crazy. So I have to force me to keeping it down. Down, down, down. Not turn it down. Down, down, down. Yes. Yes. Okay. Just get the light and the dark in the first sketch. That's the most important thing to do. Then I can add the details later as much as I can. Like this. Still, I think I'm doing it a little bit too big. It's crazy. It's really hard to do it this small. It's weird. But I want to center it. I want it to be very subtle. Subtle and subdued. See now, here. This. And this. Just gonna correct it. It's a little yellow, exactly around here. Just take some real yellow. Put it in there, to the white, to get that glowing yellow. Yes. And the yellow keeps going down. This is a white rose, but it's more like a yellow rose. And voila. And voila. Just to do the kind of do the basics, just kind of like this, very no thick colors for now, just subdued, just the main shape. Then I can go in without having to, because I have many times I tend to put on too much color from the beginning, and I think if you're going to do more photorealistic things, you have to be more careful when you sketch to keep it down, like Arnold. Yeah, don't laugh at your own jokes. Yeah, but you know, Keep it down. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do here, because if I do, it's going to be so much easier for me to go in and sketch the next level. No detail in the beginning, so I just get a kind of overview of what's important. Get it in there. Let me see now. There. Yeah, getting somewhere. There. Yeah, still a little bit too thick. Strangely enough. So small. It's just weird. Fun really. I kind of like it. And where's the leaf? The leaf comes all the way. Just have a tad of green in it and try to get that leaf to become natural. That was way too high. I have to go all the way down here. Not here. And slim it down. Maybe I should actually just work around it. Maybe that's more easy to do this. And use the background as to guide it into place. And then down here to the stilk, as it's called in Norway. A stilk. A rod? I don't know. Maybe it's a rod. Is it a rod? Rose rod. Here. And there's a leaf coming here. There's one in the middle. There. Then these ones. This is more come to. Like this. Let me see that. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Yes. Good. Good. The right track. Right track. Yeah. Maybe think like, you know, hey, make it so if I squint, it's gonna look blurry. Think like, okay, I'm gonna try to paint it as if it is blurry. That might work. There's some red in here. Grab these things. Tamp it down. Okay. This is actually more difficult than the onion I painted today. It took less time because this is smaller and more complex in a way. I'm not more complicated. Yeah, it is kind of, I'm very used to painting onions. Maybe that's it. So, okay, need more medium. Medium, medium. Brodium. Rumstorium. Dum dum. Yeah. Maybe I need my glasses when I want to do the details in it. But that's better, isn't it? Yeah, I can see better as a close up now. Actually, it's a good thing, I think, to bring it a little bit closer to me. It comes a little bit closer when I do that in a way. Yeah, it does. So it kind of drags it closer to me. Let me try to get in the stilk. The stilk. It's not what they call it in English, probably. That's a stilk. You can tell me in comments what this is. Is it a stilk? Is it a stilk? There. And there's one stilk going up, and then you have the leaves hanging down here, and there's one going up here and out. And there's a very subdued green. Maybe I should use my ivory black maybe to tone it down, maybe bring it up a little bit with some yellow, but keep it down because the leaf is darker than the background. That is nice to kind of know. So here we are. So it has to go further out here, I see now. And this comes down, but as we can see, it's down here and goes in here, down like this, sharp, long, even longer out, I think. It's a different shape because I tend to do symbols instead of actually looking at how it is, and that is a big mistake that it's very easy to do. Just so there we go, and up here, down like this. Yeah. Yes, and we have these other leaves coming from this one. Goes in here. These leaves comes down. And down here. Yeah, I think that's more like it. And you have this one going in like this. You see how blurry I keep it now? I think this is what you have to do if you're going to do photorealism. You have to keep it very subtle. In the beginning, don't use thick colors. Don't just bang on like I usually do. And yeah. Will someone buy us very small rose, standing alone in the middle of nowhere? I don't know. Put But it sure feels better to do things a little bit different thing. We kind of get tired of the same stuff. Okay. So down here. My girlfriend is very good at roses, and she has a even more hyper focus than me, and I think she's gonna become a really great photorealist. And not photorealist, but also the type of photorealist to get the surfaces to actually come alive. That's some of the photorealists that I have seen. They can't really get the surfaces to come alive. Like David Kazan, he's such a brilliant drawer, but I mean he just doesn't know color. He doesn't understand how color works. He's not a colorist, and his surfaces, despite him being brilliant as to draw and to likeness, and they just become too stiff. And that stiffness is devastating, I think, for his paintings. But you know, he gets praise and everybody loves him. Not everybody, but you know what I mean. It's like, I need to say, he's doing great work. Don't get me wrong. His paintings and drawings, everything is. It isn't easy what he's doing. It's not easy peasy. It's time consuming, but it lacks that last thing. And I think actually my favorite photorealist, the German guy, is way better. Philip Weber, artist, is way better. So if I do some more photorealistic stuff, I wanted to have the same punch or come alive. I don't want it to be, you know, boring and stuff. I want it to really, be alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. I want to combine in some paintings I just want to go crazy with paint and thick colors and just bang on and build, and in others I would like to do photorealism. So yeah. So now it's actually, I'm getting somewhere. See, it's blurry, it's very nice, and it's alive, it's alive. Silly Billy. Okay, just deeper, yeah. I was actually planning to make more Apple video, Apple painting, more. I made one beautiful onion sketch today, so I wanted to just stick with that. Okay, and this goes all the way out here. And that leaf comes around here somewhere. And it goes on the bit higher up, actually way higher up there. Goes in like this and stretches all the way up here, I think. But I will do that later. So, let me see now. Yeah, nice. Let's see how much time. 29, okay. I almost managed to do the whole sketch in a half an hour. Now it's 29, 56, 57, 58. Okay, take 2, sketch number 2. Just go deeper in here, trying to get it right. As I say, just go, go, go. Keep it down. Keep it, yeah, like this. And then right there, goes out, a little bit down, like this, up here, around like that. And this one comes down, a bit higher maybe. Or is this too, oh yeah, I think it's need to be smaller, something. I don't know, I figure it out. It's not that easy to get it totally right when you do freehand, and but you know, you just have to keep trying. And so now this also goes a little bit more out here. There's so many things to see at the same time that it's very easy to go astray. Like here I went too far down. So zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. Mm-hmm. This, and then this one comes all the way up here and goes down basically here, I think, approximately. And voila. Looking forward to be finished with this exhibition and take some time off with my sweet girl and just relax, go to the beach and sit in the park and yeah. It would be nice to make a baby with her at some point. No, not one. At least 5. No, just kidding. Oh, why not? If you want to stick with, one woman for the rest of one's life, why not? How hard can it be? Hard, they say. But, you know, one of the things you want to do is actually kind of make more of yourself. So here now you see we have this glass thing. It is in. It kind of goes here somewhere down like this. And it's inside there. That's actually more to that side, so I think it kind of looks. I'm gonna take a look in the mirror if I can find it. As usual, my mirror has a tendency to constantly disappear for some reason. Oh, there it is. With the yellow on it from yesterday. So when I look in the mirror, I can actually see that it is pretty darn correct, actually. It's not much. Yeah, it's good. Then I will add some more textures and stuff and add some more detail all over the place, but not so much that I get in problems later. I'll just keep it down so I have I don't have much time on every painting right now, so I have to be very stoic about how much texture and what I put into everything. So so here too. Crisscross. A little bit more green. But it is deeper, so we need to keep it down. Keep it down. The green doesn't stick out much, really. Okay, let's go back to the rose a little bit. Maybe I should try using these. It's very soft, very doesn't put in much brushwork actually. It's just it's quite beautiful to use for this purpose. You can feel it already. Yeah, you see, soft. Talking a very soft voice now, just for fun. Can you hear that? I can talk in this beautiful toned voice where you have to lean into the computer or telephone to hear what I'm saying. It's not really me, is it? No, I need kind of more action. So the next days will be so rough. I thought I was going to be able to sketch everything today, but it is limited to how much you can do in just one day, and it's so annoying. That was totally wrong. That was green, that wasn't green. Isn't this nice? Just a bunch of brush strokes, and boom, you have a rose. Before you know it, you have a rose. This and here and here underneath like this. Okay. Don't make it bigger. Do not make it bigger. That's so important. Don't make it bigger. I need to tell me that all the time, because it's so easy to do that mistake. Suddenly you start making it bigger. Yes. Like this. Like that. All the way. So lovely. Yeah, like this. Yep. Okay. Small. This, and I need to do something more with that light, and it's kind of, I add a little thicker colors there to get this thing going. This, and here. This, now it starts to come alive a little bit more. This one, you see, it's becoming a rose. It's becoming a rose. It's becoming alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. Isn't that Depeche Mode? precision I'm doing here. That is kind of thing I usually don't do, because but in this one I'm basically forced to it because I don't want to having to fight my own brushwork, because it's not supposed to be thick brushwork in this. It's just a nice tone and shadow underneath here. This one is probably too far out here, and yeah, blue, red. Just get this in the shadows. The shadows. And underneath here too. Did that thing wrong. So easy to do things wrong. So now you see I need to move this. That's where I made a symbol of it instead of actually seeing what was happening. So there, it's like this, and down, 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 right back down. Okay, okay. Oh, So, here and here. Need to get that light in there. Small tiny lights there, and here, and here, and there. Now, yes, yes, yes. What a sweet rose it is now already. Kinda. So, I have nothing to say. A lot to do, not so much to say. And maybe like this. Leave it over here. I think this is the way to actually do these things. You just do them, yeah, piece by piece in many ways. One brushwork at a time. Precision. Just need darkness here. Ugh, it just disappears. So annoying. What to do with that? It's the two surfaces is so close together that it's very hard to see difference. Maybe I should enhance the background or push that down. I don't know. It is darker. It's not light. It's dark. So go deeper. Go deeper like this. Then drag it like this. And then bring it back up. Try to bring it back up. Yeah, maybe. Ooh, that was hard. That was hard enough to break. See, you can drive you crazy just by small things like this. You can't get that right. You can really go, this is, wow. This is crazy difficult. So. So, is this underneath there, that shadow? Maybe try some blue. Is that it? Some blue? They are so close together, it's just, God. Okay, let's try to do something with the background. Maybe I can get it done with that. You just go in and shape it like this from the back. Like this. So shape this. Then. Well, that was did actually work better. Go even deeper, deep. Even deeper, like this. Yes. And yeah. Okay, like this. Some yoga. I feel my feet is almost being driven into the floor. It's weird. It's a weird feeling. Almost like I can feel that the gravity kind of starting to pull me down. Let's see here. Yes. Yeah, I think that was a nice sketch actually. There's some more things to do with it, but I think it kind of holds water, as I say. Going deeper here. This pencil I've also seen its best days, so just use it a little bit. Yes, a cute rose. But this is gone. So all the things I draw on the floor, they are gone. simply not alive anymore, not to be used. So just give the background a little bit more plaster texture till next time. The sun was now. So yeah, there it is more in the vertical-ish actually. Subdued colors. See what I'm doing now, just cleaning it up and making sure that when I start on the next one, I have a good place to start, to be very focused. That was way too white. Push it down, push it down. I think it became quite nice actually. Well, I hear myself say that, but I think it looks like a rose, and that's a good start. You know, it looks like a rose. It's probably onto something. Always things to fix and do better. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So subtle. So subtle. Need some more blue in the background here. Okay. So there's a line here. Background, there's some stuff happening. I think the most important thing is to get some textures in, like this thing here. But nothing is supposed to create any noise in the background. It's not gonna do any, give it a lot of disturbances. So if I can manage that, that's good. A lonely rose. Okay. 1, 2. What was it? 1, 2, 3. There it is. 1, 2, basically trees. Kind of a little bit bigger than the original, but you know, Can't get everything 100% first time. So then I think I will call it today on this one. And then I'm going to paint another rose. Hopefully I'm also going to paint a couple of landscapes before I go to. Okay, starting up this again. My sketch. I'm going to do the Retouch varnish just to get the tones to bounce out a little bit. Then I'm going to glaze and then I'm going to paint. And it's a nice rose. It's not that difficult actually, but you know, I want it to be as nice as possible, so let's see what happens. Yay! So just to get the tones to pop out, and yeah, so just let it dry for about 5 minutes. Then I will add the retouche varnish, and then I start painting. Now, of course, the glaze. The glaze. Retouche varnish. I just did that. So, yeah. Okay, here we go. Gonna do that little glaze again. It's not much really. Just gonna take my ultramarine, some alizarin, and create that usual bluish tone that I like to use. Then I just go over the whole thing, and I can do it a little bit more reddish, I see, in this one, because it's gonna, so let's see, I almost got finished. Yeah, so like this. So a little bit too much blue over there. So now like this, add some more reddish, like this. Yeah, then this is gonna kind of be pulled into the textures. Yeah, then maybe for 5 or 10 minutes I just let it kind of be pulled in. I will start there. Usually I start there, and I will do all the small details and then just build down. That is what I'm going to do. Yay! Here we go. Okay, that's probably dried a little bit now. So I will start up with some smaller pencils. I'll do some detail work. I'll start out where I told you I was going to start out. Of course, I need some more medium. So, yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to start here with some white to do all these small things here. It's going to be a little bit trying to put it mildly. Start with some yellow. See how that goes. I think I need a little bit more warmth in that yellow. And like this. Just do some direction work first. And I want to be very careful here because it's so small and it's very easy to screw it up. So if I do it right, I can actually do a painting like this quite fast, pretty quick. If I don't focus, I can easily screw it up, and it will take way longer time. Way longer. See now, also I use, see here, I use the line there, that's already there, as, as a way, or the shadow there, as to create the line. So I don't have to paint it in. Like this. Yeah. Just get some light first. And yeah. It's a shame with these pencils because it's very good, but I tend to kind of open up too much. But see what I can do with it. You see now here. Yeah, I need some more. Saline. Can add the blue after very easily. Now this thing will be basically light and shadow. I'll be careful where I put the colors, so I keep it open. See, this is not that much that is needed. Like this, like this, here, and there, and then you have all the, here's one. Actually way too much white. Let's see now if I can. Yeah, it was too dark again. To find some kind of middle ground here. Like this maybe. And here. Some green, or blue, yellow, greenish. See here, this is more like in the green. Now it's deeper, so need to go down a bit here. Like it is. Mm-hmm. Here. This one, this one, there we go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, start with a little bit more orange there. Green orange type, quite deep color, and of course there's this underneath the shadow. It's nice not having to wear my glasses. It was a very smart thing to change my diet and change it to basically carnivore plus some greens. You see how it just pops out? The simplicity of it is amazing in itself, I think. Then I'll just try to go in here and add some deeper. Here, this one here. And it kind of comes alive in the most beautiful way. The song, it kind of reminds me a little bit about the artist who sadly took his own life a while back. It was called Christopher Wadlund. He did amazing, quite monochrome paintings and very beautiful drawings. You should look him up. Christopher Wadlund. He was a Swedish born but lived in Oslo. Very nice guy actually. Quite introvert, but sadly he took his own life. It's sad. Yeah. But he used to do roses and stuff, and this just reminded me a little bit about his. So it's funny how I do a painting and I start to think about that guy. It wasn't a close friend, but I knew him a little bit. You know. Another childhood friend of mine died a while ago of heart attack, actually. Yeah, it wasn't that guy I was talking about. Rune, another guy, a painter. It's only 54, I think. It's way too early to go, you know. It's weird to see how easy it is for people to go into non-existence and just boom, it says it's over, you know. And it's so brutal, you know. It's just no coming back. It's the final word, and it's hard to get over it, but just have to live with it and do the best I can. I think I take time a little bit too for granted, and the fact that I see people who I knew kill themselves or die in an accident or die of some kind of disease or something, it is definitely a wake-up call. You know, it could so easily be me. There's no reason why I shouldn't get some kind of terminal cancer and then be gone in not so long time. There's no reason at all, and it's weird. You know that your loved ones, your parents, stuff dying. It's just a part of. It is a part of the equation because they are way older than me and stuff. So. How did they get there? You know, that is weird. How one gets there. How do one get to the point of death? They go through all their lives being children, growing up being young, being hopeful, full of energy, and boom, day one. I'm 57 now, and it's very hard to understand how that could even happen. When I was 27, it seemed like such a long time ago, or a long time into the future, and now I'm here. Anyway, see, I'm working here in between, so I'm kind of using the background to enhance it. Do the same thing here. instead of kind of painting directly on the rose, I'm kind of painting what's around it and trying to find the right hue, the right color. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. And here too, behind here. Yeah. I think I want to make. I do that last. Take these roundings last this time. Just try to focus on the flower. Rose. Yes. Also, it's better not to have paint here because I need to, when it becomes this small, I need to have something to lean into when I paint. So, yeah. I think in the next segment I'm going to focus closer on the flower so you actually see what I'm doing. Because I've been doing a lot of distance work, you see what I'm painting anyway, so. Does that sound okay? See, orange here. So see. Yes. Yes. We could do something with that. Yep. Okay. Just darker in between there, but I think I want to just start now, paint a little bit, and then we'll do the next segment very close up to the rose. Yay! Yeah, as you can see, I did some more work all around it. I just want to fix it. I can't film everything. And yeah, that's just a basis in a way. Now I just want to work a little bit closer on the rose. Maybe get in some details and stuff. And yeah, just work very slowly and try to make it come alive. Also said that I shouldn't have done this. I just realized that now because I like to kind of put my finger, but I'm going to paint over it anyway. so it doesn't really matter that much. So yeah, you see in here, this underneath here, it's very nice. Now this is where kind of a micro glazing comes in. I will work with very thin colors, not any thick ones, and I need to just try to get the impressions right here. Yeah. Yes. Like this. Yeah, I think that was okay. And voila. Flowers are something special, there's no doubt about that. I do not have any more yellow, it's so typical. I always seem to forget to add new colors. And it cost me a lot of frustration. So here, also that color was dirtied up. So I need to make a new one. See here, yeah, it's better. Dirty color is not good when you're gonna do very small detail. It has to be very clean. What is the best is to start up and renew a palette every day. I know a quite good painter who has probably said it before, but I asked him once if I could see his palette, and the reason I asked was, of course, I wanted to see what colors he used, but he came with his palette and showed me, and there were it's not a single trace of him having used this palette. And that's no, he took it off every day when he was done, and he put it in on a glass thing and put it in the fridge. So he cleaned this palette so much that there wasn't even a trace of paint on it. And I was shocked because my palettes, they're just crazy. And but I guess it's different ways to work, and he is way more more in this more classical type of style, well, quite rigid, very beautiful, but quite rigid. Still lifes and stuff. A little bit stiff maybe, but good. He's a very good drawer. He could actually draw figures with a pen, not a brilliant, but a pen, just an ordinary blue pen. You can put spots and create the most amazing portraits just by pointing. And you have to, when you do that, you have to be to be extremely well, you can't do any mistakes, if you know what I mean. So it's really good, but a little bit rigid. I'm more like a painter, typical painter. I like paint. I like my paintings to be painted. I have a conflict there, really. There's a kind of inner conflict in me. Maybe some of you have you know, have the same problems. It's almost like I want to be perfect, but then I'm too much of an expressionist to be perfect. So it's kind of a fall into two different realms in a way. So it's very hard to actually do absolute perfection with absolute hypermania and ADHD. It's very difficult to control. So yeah. So okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So kind of glows a little bit now. Starts to come alive. It's a way it is when you get into these itty gritty details. That is when it starts to become really time consuming. Even a little thing like this, when it becomes that existential question, and you feel that your basic identity as a human being stands and falls on if you can actually get it right. It's ridiculous, of course, but that is how it can feel. And the pleasure of actually getting stuff right is profound. It's beautiful. So yeah, it doesn't matter how big or small it is just to get it right. That's the whole deal. I wonder why, sometimes, despite it is my job, of course. I don't want to do anything else, that's for sure. So here, so there, yes. On. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, just going to do something with the leaves also. I have to zoom out a little bit. Of course, it won't be 100%. I took some very beautiful pictures of roses, and I would like to blow them up in size enormously, more like, you know, Philip Weber artist, and do some huge still lifes for photos, just to prove to me that I can. I used to do that. I have a lot of craniums, and I used to blow them up in size. I stopped with so many things that could actually be interesting to do again. Yeah. There. Okay. The nice thing about this is it's very much contrast. So, and of course, the green that goes down on the cord, of the flower. Is it cord? I don't know. Maybe it's cord, maybe it's not. I don't know. You see, I need it to be very green, so I mix in Prussian blue. Prussian blue just pops out. It also mixes now with the other paint I have here. So that's good, like this. Then I can highlight it after the fact. Just go down. So here. And there's a lot of stuff happening here. And goes up like this and down. And here it's quite dark actually, but also it is darker than the background. I actually thought it was lighter, but it's darker. So that is how you can be actually tricked to believe, because I saw some kind of highlights and stuff in like this, and here it goes kind of up like this with a, you can see the dark underneath here, so there, and this one is going out like this, goes up. This one goes out like this, and use the background to create this thing here. So that's just to now underneath here. Yes. So slim this in. I think I will have one more go on this after tonight. But I don't need some, I need some 4 or 5 times on it, and then it's okay to go. So. Just cheat a little bit. Of course. And this one is a little bit higher up actually. Do you see what I'm doing? Yeah, I have to zoom out a little bit. This, I think, so you can actually see the whole thing. It's not so much battery left, so it might just turn itself off. Now there's a line here, and it goes kind of down here. thought it was higher, but it's not. So we have some texture in the background. The thing is that I will actually add more texture in it tomorrow, and then I will have the texture I put in today to work with, which will make it quite more easy peasy. Yep. Let's see. Oops, that was way too much. Oops. This can easily become a mess, so I have to be careful. Need to get these also right. Let the thinness thin, and also this one thinner. See, now I'm using the background to enhance it, like here now, like see that. And it's very dark, so we can let it be like this. Now I painted this rose a little bit bigger on the format than it is in reality. So that's stuff I don't actually come to put into it. There's this vase down here. It's very thin, so it doesn't really matter. Anyways, it's way too dark. This is true meditation. I think I'm going to put on a concert of Cure or something. Listen to some music. Just flow. I think that is basically the most beautiful thing. With being able to do these things. That I can stay here and just flow. Night after night. So great, you know. One should be grateful. It's a luxury. Making art is a complete luxury for basically the rich part of the world. Of course, other peoples also make art. It's not that I mean, but being able to do this full time, to live in a country where that is possible, that is such a privilege. And I think we should be a little bit humble and appreciative that we have built that kind of society. And this longer down, or it will be wrong. I can't have it to be wrong, so I'll move this leaf so it's actually on the right spot, or it will annoy me dramatically. So these things I will get correct. Takes time. A long time. Yes. See, now I just start to. Also, you have to kind of follow the laws of nature. So all these shapes has a certain mathematics behind them, and if you don't get it right, it's going to look wrong. So this can't be too long, and this must be the right thickness where it's supposed to be. It just seems wrong and it just falls apart. So, mathematics of the universe is basically manifested in the leaves, like everything else. Okay, there's this one, the vase, the vase, the vase. It's like this. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to get in much of it because I see here I painted it a little bit bigger. So I kind of lose. It's typical. It's the same size, but it's it's difficult to get it right, actually. Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah, 22 minutes should do, and it's also going out about. You see how it now start to glow? It's just, yeah. Okay. Starting up this again, I'm gonna put on some Retouch varnish as usual. We're just gonna do a couple of days with touch up. So that's how it's going to be. I need to get this has dried for a while now, so I can be a little bit more brutal. I'm going to throw in a little glaze before I start, just a tiny bit, and yeah, get started. Work for a few hours, see how far I come, and yeah, behave. Oh. Yeah, by the way, this is the Retouch varnish. It's from Old Holland, and I think it's, yeah, quite good. And voila, here we go. I'm going to do a little bit of glazing, just to get a little bit of color into it, or maybe it isn't that necessary, but I'm going to take a little bit of my ultramarine blue and some of my alizarin. That is what I always do. I like to keep it understandable. If you always kind of do the same thing, it's easier to control stuff. Of course, you can use any color you like, and if you like to go over it with pure red or pure green or pure yellow, it's totally up to you. It's just the way I do it. I'm not going to put so much all over the place. It's just to get some oil into the canvas, and this is now absorbed into the Retouch varnish, and it makes it kind of easier for me to see the colors, and also I get some oil into it. Usually I actually, or mostly I like to mix colors on the canvas, and this creates some stickiness. I can add some more color on top of this. Yeah. So, and yeah, just get it a little bit more clarity from it, and then I take my scrape or spoon or whatever you call it, and kind of take away some of the excess white color, so it doesn't become too, what we say, too oily, basically. And yeah, that's what I do. That was the retouche varnish and the glaze. So that was a chapter within itself. 3 minutes, and from this one I'm going to start painting. As you can see, the colors on the canvas and this is quite different. It's basically a little bit more yellow in there, and I'm gonna try to add that as I go along now. But also I have that thing which I mentioned before in other videos, that the colors are different. It's warmer here than you see in the camera. It has to do with the lighting in my studio or something. Never actually, it's difficult to get that part right. I'm trying all sorts of things actually, but it seems to be a recurring problem that the digital camera picks up things in a different way. So I guess I just have to live with that part. And so do you. Yeah. So I'm gonna start with some light areas here. I always do that. Now I'm gonna be very careful, go very slow, just to increase what I like here. There's a lot of, it's greenish and it's yellow, and I can kind of mix the colors on the canvas here to get this beautiful light that comes from the photo. Also, if you see, it's kind of glowing, and I really love that. Just pops out like this. So yeah. And yeah, maybe I should use some glasses. I'm just gonna fetch my glasses because it's very small details here. I'll put some hours into this today, and also try. What's important is also to get the background to come a little bit. There has to be something in the background, so I need to work also with that a lot. See now, just do it here. Yes, be very subtle. It's kind of painting stuff like this from photo gives me. It is kind of like looking at small paintings by Vermeer, where every transition between the different shadows and stuff is so subtle, and it's almost like I hate that kind of language actually, but it's simply pop up all the time. But it is. I remember the small paintings of Vermeer. That everything just glides smoothly into one another, and to create that beautiful translucent thing. And that is what I'm after here, also creating these shadows and creating the different shadows here by kind of you knitting these two together very slowly. Try to not go too fast. You go too fast and you can easily overdo it, and what basically was a lot of contrast and stuff, it can just totally fall apart because you add in too much light or go a little bit too fast here. So I'll go quite slow. And there's more blue in this. So there, yes. Okay. There we are. There. This one also quite bright. So much happening. Of course, these flowers are basically created by humans, factory based. I do actually prefer in summertime to go pick roses that are more like the wild roses. I think they are more, more contrasts, more different things. They are more different in shape, and they also smell way better. This basically doesn't smell anything. But I do like these yellow greenish ones, absolutely. Red roses, more difficult to paint, I think, because you don't have that many different colors to work with. So yeah. I have to kind of follow that. My head is like, I always tend to exaggerate things. I exaggerate light and dark, and exaggerate colors. So what is difficult for me is to actually keep things down and don't exaggerate so much. And it's not easy because I'm a sucker for contrast. Sucker for contrast. It's actually green down here. Yellow, green. And of course then the what do you call these things? Maybe someone can tell me in the comment. What is these? What is it? It's not leaves, you know. It's flower crowns or whatever. I don't remember. Maybe I should ask ChatGPT. Maybe I should ask ChatGPT. Just wait a second. Okay. ChatGPT, where are you? There you are. It's a good thing. Good evening.
Good
Yes, I wonder about what do you call what the flowers made of? All the leaves on the flowers, not the leaves themselves, but the kind of the crowns or the what's it called? There's a word for it.
I think you're referring to the corolla. The corolla is the collective term for all the petals of a flower, and it forms that crown-like structure around the reproductive parts. If you had something else in mind, let me know.
Thank you. That was all I needed today. So,
You're very welcome. If anything else comes up, just let me know. Have a great evening.
thank you. So, it's called the corolla. Okay, cool. It's the corolla. Why didn't I do this before? That's a good thing about AI and stuff like that. You can actually figure these things out. So it's called a corolla. Corolla. It's a nice name actually. So yeah. Corolla. Corolla. I'm painting the corolla. The corolla on the flower. I'm repeating myself because I want to remember it. That is the way I usually manage to remember things, by repeating them. Because my brain is... It is not that good to remembering things the first time. It's more like I have to repeat myself again and again. And then when it's stuck, it is really stuck. So, today it's the corolla. Yeah. And the cool thing is that ChatGPT actually so easily understand what I mean, despite me not be having good English and knowing exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm looking forward to today we have computers that mimics humans extremely well, to the point where we can't really differentiate what is conscious or not, because they can be good companions to ask questions. They can do all our dirty work so we can have more time. You can play chess with them. You will always lose, of course. You will never win against an AI. That will never happen. But you will get better. The thing is it's like when women are in boxing. There was this, or is a Norwegian boxer who's probably retired now. Breckhus, her name was Breckhus, like a break a house. Her name was actually that. And she was always, when she was building up to competitions, she was fighting with men. And that was very, very smart. Because, of course, she couldn't win. A trained man will always be better than a trained woman in any sports. And now I'm talking about trained people that have the same level. I'm not talking about a man who doesn't box or yeah. And the same thing is if you have these kinds of robots, you can play chess and you can do stuff like that. And of course you will never win, but when you meet a human being, you will really be better. So yeah, so it's smart. You can use it as a tool, and we already do. So yeah, I mean, we had chess games for such a long time. That was way too bit too hard, if you know what I mean. The corona isn't soft enough. You see now, there. It's not totally 100% correct this, but I guess I just have to live with that. I'm trying to build a little bit around it now. Maybe a different pencil. It's a flat one. Yeah, this is a flat one. Maybe a little bit too big for this. There's one. Yeah, this one I think. Maybe that's the same. Anyway, just trying to work around it. I use my Prussian blue. I need kind of a toned bluish, greenish, bluish tone here underneath there. See if I can find it. I also want that, you know, the texture, that plaster texture which is on my wall. That is one of the things that I'm gonna do more with my paintings. I'm actually gonna restart some of the paintings that I thought I finished quite a few years ago, and I wanna restart and enhance them. There's a few paintings I haven't sold yet, so I thought I was just gonna make everything as good as possible. And one of these things is to work more with the textures on the wall and textures all over, actually, because sometimes I'm a little bit out of time or something, you know, or I kind of reach some kind of exhaustion point because I paint on too many paintings at the same time. So what I would like to do with the rest of my life in a way is to be able to go even deeper, so that my paintings go from being superficially good to what I would perceive as actually good. And there is a difference between people. Most people can't see that, but I see it, and it kind of sometimes just kind of tears me apart that I haven't got the patience or even the skill set to bring things up to the level where I think it's good, or at least good enough to, yeah. Also, if you are out of time or you are stressed out or whatever, it's hard also to reach your own skill wall. And I think it's very important to reach that skill wall in every painting. If not, you will never actually get better. I don't want it to be a half. I want to go as far as I can when it comes to my skill. I am skill driven, and I'm driven by the challenge. That is why I really need to step up and push myself further. I saw, I think I posted it today, it was Leonardo da Vinci, which said something very beautiful. Can you make okay. I'm trying to figure out if let's do here like this. Yeah, Leonardo da Vinci said, yeah, a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so a life well spent brings happy death. That's today's truism, and as well as a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so a life well spent brings a happy death. And that is so true. You know, it is unbelievably true. And that is why I want to bring my paintings up to a level where I can feel that I at least did my best, or tried to do my best, or not hiding behind some kind of cop-out mediocrity. So yeah. People who don't paint don't know this, they can't really see it, but I think most people can see it when it's done. Even people who are basically blind to it will see it when the work is done. Okay. So, but the most important thing is, of course, that I see it, and I wanna die a good death, and I'm worried about that I'm not gonna die a good death. So, because it's gonna be my last thoughts, and I would like them to be at least that I did my best, you know, or used my time to try to reach something that I can consider to be good, maybe worth talking about. We are so lucky with, I was talking to my girlfriend about this, to think about if Rembrandt or a few of the masters could actually made videos, or Leonardo, think about being able to hear Leonardo da Vinci talk. You can actually, because you can read what he's been writing, and yeah. Actually, I have his diary. It's a very beautiful book. Actually, I think I'm gonna sit down after I have this first layer. I'm gonna sit down and have coffee and read in his diary to get some inspiration. Maybe I should make a video about that topic to my channel. To wanting to live or to die a good death. So important. Uh-huh. La da 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 da. Okay, maybe I should take that break. Well, I need to paint more when you're not looking anyway. So, let's see what happens. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, here. Okay. So, it's difficult to keep that plaster feeling and not bring it too far up in light, and you don't want it to be too dark because the contrast becomes too big. You have to find that point where it seems like everything just comes together. And that is why I love Vermeer so much, because he's probably one of the best examples of it. I also love, of course, the German guy, Philip Weber artist, but he's not painting like this. He's painting flatter with the paint, not actually with a motive, but the paint. He's not using so much brush work and stuff. It's more build nuance. So it's not what I'm after. I'm after a more paintedness, and I'm saying that for many times. But, you know, I could repeat it forever. Me being after something that lives very much in the textures and brushwork, but also have this Vermeerish clarity. Could be something to stretch myself towards. Yes. Okay. Okay, that is one. Yeah, I think it's getting better already, because I'm getting more colors into the background, and it is just not orange and blue and red or blue or pink or whatever. It's kind of more colors there. Something more is happening in it. So yeah. Okay. So, I can't film everything, sadly. Wish I could, but that's how it is. Anyway, see ya. It's almost a half an hour now. I just worked a little bit around here, and I'll try to go back to the flower, yeah, and add in a little bit more detail into the flower, which means I need a pencil that is suited for that job. I think I'm going to choose this. This is not a ball bristle. It is synthetic, but I think it's nice for very small details like this. I think it is okay. And just try to add in some more light here. And yeah, there's a green. Wackadoodles. And yeah. It is quite difficult to see exactly how it is, but I just have to do my best. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So many things to think about. Maybe I should actually zoom a little bit closer so you can actually see here what I'm doing, if that is possible. Just see if I can. No. Yeah, I guess I need to just move it like this then. Yeah, like this. I think I can actually see more what I'm doing. I think. Okay. Okay. And some green. I use the Prussian blue here to tone it down. It's a very strong color, so I have to be a little bit careful. That is the thing, there's a lot of very subtle colors in this when you really start to look for it. So, like it is. Now, what I noticed when I saw Vermeer was his simplicity in the brushwork. Some places you actually just seem to use one color, and the eyes are basically doing the rest, putting in the missing nuances in a way. Again and again. Just wanted to come alive. Yeah. Add some more yellow here. Just link these together. It's not easy. I say that a lot. I say that way too much. I think it's not easy. It's not easy. To excuse myself all the time for not being able to do everything right. So maybe it's kind of fake humility. Not fake, it's not fake actually. So my thoughts are wandering when I'm doing detail work like this. I just boom, I get into a deeper flow and I just lose the whole track of time. So I hope you just see what I'm doing. People are waking up, I guess. See, now also do something with the leaves, stuff. Yeah. So, just kind of making it a little bit more clear and kind of getting some more contrast in it without losing the paintedness of it. Fascinating stuff. See, now I need to strengthen. You can also use the background like this to just, strengthen it a little bit. Can use schwung and a schwung here too, in like this, so it becomes a little bit better, giving some clarity. Address. As here too. If I film all my future paintings, there will be a live all the way back to when I was like 40. Can even go further back if I just post my old paintings. I want to make kind of a live diary or something. So, yeah. Has to be greener. Just needed to come alive, you know, it's the whole thing. Make it come alive. There's small subtle things happening in the background. The line here. I would like to have some more yellowish into it also. See if I can make that happen. We'll actually give it a little bit more life. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I have very bright light in my studio, so it's sometimes it's kind of hard to see exactly. And this one is actually further down. I have to move it about here. very important to have something happening in the background there. Maybe I should actually try to paint these in a bigger format to actually go even deeper, but maybe it is enough to just do them properly in this format. Just work with them long enough, just tightening them up as you go along. Try to give them the right contrast and the right hue and everything. Like this. So don't make this into a cliche. It's very easy to kind of make it into more like a symbol than how it actually looks. So anyway, yeah, 20 minutes should do. And see you in the next segment. And here we are again. Trying to finish this flower now. I'm going to do a few shorter clips. And then I will call it, I think. Maybe some more close-up. And yeah, so anyway, what I'm trying to do now is to get the translucent, get it to be it's very difficult with the shadow underneath there. It's hard not to break because it's so subtle here, and this is explained with a tiny bit darker color, but they are so close that I'm really having problems seeing exactly what to do there. And enhance this one a little bit with some greenish. Just pull it up a little bit more, and so that explains a little bit. It's all very opaque here. It's kind of hard to see exactly what's happening. I do get inspired by these, and I do get inspired to wanting to do more of them and maybe do some bigger ones or blow it up in size or something. And what I feel like doing is to push it to my limits. So, but I think I talked about that in the last segment. So just gonna do some short, need some more detail to explain. And it's funny because when I'm painting, I'm never thinking that people will see the photo. Of course on YouTube you see the photo and you can see where I go wrong and stuff. And that's fine. I'm not gonna hide the fact that I'm not perfect. You know, I'm not by a long shot. So yeah, just need to get more shadows. Everything is so close. And this one. Reminds me of Vermeer, there's no doubt about that when I do these very subtle translucent colors here. This one too is very important. There's a little detail here. I use some black, I think, to make this a little bit more natural. Have to get that right thinness, the right direction. You don't want the leaves to be too much symbols. You want it to feel a little bit real. So yeah. Mixing some green on my palette here to give these a little bit more life. Yeah, and they need some more life. I'm going to squint on them, they're quite subdued. So. There's that became actually quite nice here. So, I kind of like to work with these. They are synthetic. They're actually quite good. So yeah, even synthetic can actually be good. So, if it was sable, it would be very expensive. See now. Tone down. Maybe some blue, some green. This is basically micro glazing. Thing is, you can actually do this for hours and hours and hours, and then you do small mistakes and you kind of lose the light and it kind of dies on you and you have to kind of pick it back up again and do it all over again. This is a draining thing. Yeah. looks good. There's also always something more you can do. So it's like a never-ending story. Da 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 da. Yeah. That was kind of 8 minutes. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Okay, just going to do a little bit work close up so you can actually see what I'm doing. What I mean with this, find the right colors all the time, and down here is a little bit greenish. Just have to get some tiny bit more color into it. And also over here. Yeah. See now, yeah, basically observing more than I paint. So and this one a little bit darker, and underneath here it's darker, darker, darker here too. Just gonna shape this one. It has to be a little bit sharper. So I guess I'll take some green and blue black, some ultramarine and yellow. I don't want it to be black because that would just be a hole. It has to have color in it. So it gets too dark, you kind of start competing. So I like it to be like this, very carefully. And I can actually play around with this shape a little bit, exaggerate it a little bit, just for fun. That is possible, but and yeah. Such tiny things. Okay. Some of these things underneath here. Like, I need to stay up here now. This one is very important. Like this, yeah, it creates a little bit more dynamic. So, and in there, I think. this maybe, and it's very much back and forth here now, but which kind of color it's here. Mustn't be too bright and it mustn't be too dark, and it has to be rational. It has to be rational. So many things happening in a flower like that. It's really hard to see all in once. You can get quite confused, and I also can't really see exactly what is happening here because the photo isn't that clear, so it can just have to experiment a little bit and see what happens. Yeah. So, yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Put in some orange here. Some stuff there. Yeah, here. Yeah, so we see what I'm doing. Goes up. So I can't really get to the painting. But that was 7 minutes, so it's very vivid in the colors, I see, but yeah. So now what I also do like to do is kind of clean up around the leaves here and tighten it up a little bit, and getting so it becomes a little bit more sharper in a way. Also, I have painted this to, it's kind of a light up here when it comes down here. It doesn't, that chord or whatever you call it, doesn't have that much light, so I have to tone it down here. That's a good thing. The hue in the back and in front is kind of almost, it's a little bit of a difference, but it's not that much. So I think the chord is a little bit darker than the background here. into some stuff happening here, like this one. There's almost like a thorn. These roses doesn't have much thorns, but because they are made in these drivhuser, or these farmhouses, or whatever we call them. So it's not real flowers. Well, it's real flowers, but it's human made. I guess I said that already. Okay, goes down here. So now we'll actually just use the background and go down like this. Try to tighten it up a little bit. This. Good thing with doing it that way is that you can go back and forth here, and the background and the thingy try to start to merge a little bit together. So, and I need to enhance it a little bit on this side. See how incredibly slow process it actually is. Using red and blue to that cord with a little bit of blue black. Because when it has green there, I'm pretty sure there are some red in the light here, in the shadow. That will be logical because of the complementary contrasts. I have no idea why that was bright light. And now I want to go to the leaves and tighten them up, giving them more sharpness because they are basically explained by the background. I'll do the same thing here as I did. This one goes over there, a little bit more out like this, goes down, this goes up, yeah, and go in between. Kind of shape it with the background. Shape it with the background. Like this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Zoom. Okay. Okay, I forgot you were here. I was so deep in concentration that I just lost. And that is so beautiful that it happens so often. See, I play around with that a little bit just for fun. Maybe it looks kind of weird. I do like to kind of play around a little bit. You can do a lot of stuff like that. Okay, I'm just going to work a while with this and come back to you later. Yay! Tiny little touch up around here, and then I think I will call it, actually. Just call it. And what do I want? I want to tighten up a little bit down here. Then I need a smaller pencil. Really like these pencils. Actually, it's quite expensive from Da Vinci Maestro. But yeah. So tighten up. I just do a little bit like this, dragging it kind of in. I don't paint down like this, just drag. And that way the background and the object are kind of becoming integrated because the lines basically disappear. And that is what you see in paintings of Vermeer and stuff like that. They didn't use much lines. They used the background and shadows and light, and background, foreground, repeat, going back and forth. So that's the way to get that to feel a little bit more natural than if you actually kind of draw it like many people do before they know better. Let me see now, here a little bit more. Try to get a little bit closer to the main object. I've done some mistakes, I can see that. I've done, the flower is a little bit bigger and stuff, so that's why I would never call myself a photorealist, because it's not photorealistic. I basically do not, there's a little opening there, and there I have to use my harder to get this, yeah, like this. And do a little bit of touch up also down here, get a little bit sharper. It's not a perfect rendition, but as people say, oh, it looks like a photograph. Well, not if you actually saw the photograph, if you know what I mean. If you did see the photograph like you do now, you can actually see there's some differences both in color and hue and stuff, so it's not perfect. Then I had to use a lot more time on the sketching process and be way more focused on getting that 100%. So it actually would be easier to be a little bit more photorealistic and take more care with the sketching, because it's always like, at some point I always try to kind of regret that I didn't if I see some bigger mistakes. But you know, as long as it becomes aesthetic. Now if it was a portrait, of course you can't do that, because a portrait, you do mistakes in a portrait and it just falls apart. So there you have to be way more conscious, especially the face and stuff like that, but in everything, because you know it's the proportions, and we want the proportions to be as correct as possible. But with the flower there's a little bit more. You see there's a glass thing down here too, but I didn't bother putting it in. Also I painted this flower a little bit bigger than it is on this canvas. Basically this and this. And I think it gives a good, I would like to paint this in a bigger format and kind of, then I can make it, the flower bigger, but get the format totally correct. But see what I do. I have so many things I need to finish, and I have to prioritize the finishing. A lot of unfinished business. And then I'm free. That's very important. When I've done all my commission works, I'm done with it, I can feel pleased with myself and feel free to start anew. So yeah, I think this is nice, good enough. Maybe I should make it a little bit darker here. It's always something more you can do. So never ending story. Da, 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 da. Yeah, just do like this. Yeah, because this one is going a little bit over this. Yes, and sharpen this one a little bit too. Not too much. You know, I can do this is some small things. And there's small things that make stuff more organic. Is the shape of these things, how it's shaped. There are certain shapes of leaf just can't do. So don't try not to paint the cliches. You know, there are symbols for leaves, there are symbols for everything. So try to not to kind of make a symbol shape, because it will feel quite wrong. So yeah, what do I mean? Well, that it kind of a symbol for the different things. Okay. Yeah, I think that's okay. Kind of tempting with a symbol. I would kind of mean if you take, for instance, this vein here, and you make it too bright, and it becomes kind of a symbol, and it doesn't feel real. everybody can see it's a leaf because we have these leaf symbols in our head that kind of puts it together for us, but it still don't feel like it's a real leaf. Yeah. Yes. And here is a little bit darker, like that. Here too. Yeah, I think that should do it, and you can actually see how I just gonna now I'm starting to regret what I did. It can easily become a problem, but I want to get this to come out a little more. Just go this way. Going to tone it down again. And here too. Yeah, that kind of explains it better, I think. See now? Yeah. So, yeah, I think this is good enough. Good enough. So, okay. Yeah, I think this will do. I'm just going to sign it. And in a small painting like this, I don't like the signature to be too big, so I just sign it K and my A. That was way too big. So that's also a problem. See now if I can get it right. Really, it's actually difficult to sign. So I write K, my initials. I also write my name on the back on the canvas with a full signature. When I do just KAV 25 It's funny to think there was a time when there were a 1925, and there had been peace in Europe for 7 years. And then the Second World War came. And it ended. And then the Cold War. And it ended. Almost ended anyway. And then Putin. So sad, really. So much death. Unnecessary death. Anyway, thanks for watching. And hope you enjoyed the ride. So, and there. No, it's not good enough. cliche, as I was talking about. So I have to shorten it a little bit. There. Well, it's not perfect. You see, when you start coming to this point, it's very hard to say stop. My body just screams, stop! It's good enough! Because what happens is, I very often, if I continue, I just go totally blind. It's almost like I can't see anymore, and I start adding too much and basically lose what was beautiful. Anyway, I think this was okay. So, yeah, voila. Yeah, I think it became up pretty nice actually. A little bit different in the colors in reality also, but the yellow in the you know, in there is, oh, you see now it changed. Now it became less yellow. Huh, that was weird. Damn. Well, now you see it's a little bit different, but it's bluer in the, yeah, I have a little bit problems with, because I'm such a sucker for blue. So anyway, and voila, here it is, the finished rose. Thanks for watching through the whole thing. This is how it came out in the end, and I didn't become so bad, I think. There is always more you can do, but always things you don't have to do. Did it from this, but you see that in the video. So yay! Want me to teach you how to paint, you can go to Patreon, and if you just want to support me there. If you just want to support me, you can do that by giving a thumbs up, leave a comment, tell me what you think, share it with your friends. And if you really want to be a sweetheart, you can also buy me a coffee, and you find all the links you need in the description on my channel. Okay, with this I say